Hi, my name is Kimberly, and on May 21st, 2023, I was involved in a very serious head on collision that altered my life forever. I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I spent a majority of my life being a student athlete. I spent a lot of my childhood helping take care of sick relatives, so it didn't take a lot for me to know that healthcare was my passion, and that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I continued being a student athlete throughout my undergraduate career, and I ended up having to relocate to Altoona, Pennsylvania to pursue my second degree in nursing. Moving this far away from my family has probably been the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. I've never lived this far from my family, so the adjustment was pretty hard, but I knew that this is what I needed to do in order to have a successful career. And in the beginning of May 2023, my mom called me and she was a little frustrated, a little worried. They didn't have enough chaperones for prom, and I told her without a doubt I would do it because who doesn't want to go to prom and have fun? That night, we created so many lifelong and lasting memories, but the memory that will impact me for the rest of my life actually happened 6 minutes before we got home. So while we were driving home, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I remember I wasn't really able to move that much. And I just remember waking up to a very horrific scene. I couldn't find my phone, so I used my Apple Watch and I called 911. And honestly, everything after that is kind of a blur, but based off of the things people have told me, I've kind of been able to piece together what's happened after. The earlier memories that I have are when the first responders arrived at scene. I remember them pulling me out of the car, and that's pretty much it until we get to the hospital. I don't really remember exactly the scene. I remember being in a lot of pain, and I remember waking up and being in the closest healthcare facility to where we were at the time. After they got me into the ICU, I was rushed into emergency surgery. And after my first surgery, I was intubated for about a week and a half. After my first surgery, they left me intubated for about a week and a half. I had surgery just about every day. And after everything was said and done, I had about, I believe, 15 procedures done, all different things that were related to injuries sustained from my accident. I was in the ICU. I remember after they took my tube out because I was intubated. I remember them telling me they didn't think I would walk for a year. I remember them telling me all like the worst case scenario things that they were thinking. And the first thing I said was, "Well, cool. Can I go back to school?" Like my biggest focus was going back to school, finishing nursing school, coming back home to our pets, just being home and being able to get back to normal life because you're in a hospital for a month and a half. I don't think I've ever missed the four walls of this house as much as I have. After some time, I did start physical therapy and occupational therapy, and it wasn't long for them to say, okay, well, we're going to try stairs. Everything we need to do to get you home, we're going to try it. And I remember my first day of therapy, I got on the stairs and I said, I'm getting out of here. We're trying these stairs, we're getting out of here, there's stairs in the house, I gotta go home. After a couple more struggles and different things that they had found, it did take a while, but we did end up being able to be discharged and clear to come home. Through everything that I've faced, obviously nobody ever wants to go through something like this, but I can say that it has changed my perspective on so many things, on life, on healthcare, on relationships, you name it. Like, my perspective has changed so much. I am so grateful for every opportunity that I have, and I don't think I will ever take walking for granted as much as I used to. After all of these things, I am so grateful. I am back home. I am working full-time hours. I am back in school full-time, and I'm able to complete my regular activities of daily living. This experience definitely has helped me change my perspective on nursing. Before it was more, well, what would I want to have done for my family? And now it's, okay, I was in this position. What made me feel better during my almost 2 month stay here? So anything, like the littlest of things that made me feel better, now I try to do them as much as possible because I just know how much it meant to me.